sellers, it's time for another sales update video. Welcome to my April 2023 sales update. There are 3 parts to this video. First, I'm going to show you what I sold, including how much I paid, the profit, and any other relevant information. The second part, the numbers. And I told you last month that I'm trying something different this month, so I will explain that in the numbers section. And then the third part is items I have purchased and listed in April, so you can see what I've been up to and any interesting side notes or stories behind those items and why I purchased them for resale. So let's go ahead and get started with my sales.
Okay, this is a Lockheed Martin baseball hat, and I'm including this sale not so much for the price, but for the fact that it sold to someone in Spain and they paid $13 for shipping, which was almost as much as the item itself. This item cost $1 at Goodwill, and it sold for full price of $19.97 in about a week, and profit was $14.68. This is one of my favorite brands, Vineyard Vines. This is a swim cover up, and I just thought the buttons were so cute around the collar. They're actually buttons in a shape of a turtle. So I just thought that was really fun and whimsical. I paid $4.80 for this. It sold on offer of $28. Profit was $20.30. This brand of swimsuit is called Magic Suit, which is different from Miracle Suit, and it was $1.50 on a special price day at a thrift store here in Greenville. I took an offer of $25. Profit was $20.71. And here's another swimsuit. Another of my favorite brands, Land's End. This is actually a swim dress, so there were no bottoms underneath. It was just the dress. I paid $3.75. It sold for $28.65, making profit $21.89. Here is an IBKUL SPF UPF clothing. This is the item that sold in March that had a tiny little hole in the seam, and the buyer didn't want to repair it herself, so I took the return. The first time it sold was for $22, and then she returned it. I mended it and then put it back up for sale, and it sold within 24 hours for $32. So it sold for more the second time around. I paid $6.61 for this, and my profit was $21.95. And this is just an example of those frustrating returns, but also everything is working out for your highest good. So that's how I look at this. This was a fun item. Actually, it was 3 items I put into a set. Party supplies. The characters are Wuzzles, which I've never heard of, but apparently were popular back in the late 80s and 90s. And these are napkins, party hats, and little name card candy cups. So basically just paper. I paid $3 for this, took an offer of $30, and my profit was $22.11. This is a Fisher-Price Calming Vibrations elephant. It's a plush with a little electronic device inside that's battery operated that slightly vibrates, so you put it next to your baby or your toddler can hold it, and it just kind of calms them with that motion. And it worked perfectly. I paid $3.28 for this. It sold for full asking price of $29.97. Profit was $22.25. This is a Coach dust bag. And if you don't know what a dust bag is, you put your fine items inside of them, whether it's a handbag or shoes, so that they don't get dusty in your closet. This was mixed in with the tote bags and was in perfect condition, no stains, which is surprising for a white item. I paid $4 for this. It sold for full asking price of $29.97. Profit was $21.92. Here is a cashmere sweater, 100% cashmere, and it had this fun fringe hemline and was a pretty color. So I don't pick up all cashmere because it seems like the market has kind of slowed down on that, but if it has special features, is an expensive brand, or a color that's not super common, I will pick those up. So I paid $5.75 for this. Took an offer of $32. This sold within hours of listing. My profit was $22.81. This is a pair of Brooks Brothers eyeglasses. These are prescription, and the buyer actually said, "Do you know what the prescription is?" And I explained, "No, we do not. We are selling these for the frames. You would exchange the existing lenses for your own prescription." So when you sell eyeglasses, you're not worried about what the prescription is because you're really selling them for the frames. These took over 2 years to sell. I paid $1 for these. They sold for $28, and my profit was $24.08. Okay, here's a Waycole bra, size 36C, and it's a sports bra. I paid $2. It sold for $29.97, making my profit $24.66. And here is an item from the linen department. This is a soft surroundings pillow sham. I was not aware that soft surroundings sold linens or home goods, so I was kind of surprised to see that brand name on the package. But it was new in the package. There's a little bit of discoloration down here, which was on the plastic. It wasn't on the item. So I paid $2 for this, took an offer of $30, and profit was $25.48. This is a golf training DVD set. And I don't sell a whole lot of media, but when I see something like this new in the package, I do pick those up. I paid $2.10 for this set of 6 DVDs, and they sold the day after the Masters was over, which was kind of a coincidence, I guess, or maybe not, for $29.97. Profit was $25.89. Here is a Blankets and Beyond baby blanket. I paid 75 cents for this. It sold for full asking of $29.97. Profit was $26.04. And I have a little interesting story for you. When the buyer received this, she sent me a message saying that she was surprised that this was pink because she thought it was white. And you can see there, it is pink. And so I went to the listing and took some screenshots showing that the word pink was in the title, as well as the item specifics, as well as the description box. And also some photos of the blanket itself that were in the listing, just reminding her, hey, this is what we see on our end. It's definitely pink, and the word pink is in the listing 3 times. Can you help us understand why you thought it was white? And she did not answer. So I'm wondering if something's going on with her phone or her monitor, whatever she was looking at when she purchased this, if maybe the color is messed up and she's not seeing things in the right color. And then I thought, well, maybe she's colorblind. And no, because color blindness, usually you get your browns and your greens mixed up. And a more rare type of color blindness is when you get the reds and blues mixed up. So it really has nothing to do with pink. So, anyway, I said, well, if it's not right for you, we stand by our return policy. Just return it. And I never heard from her again, and she didn't return it. So that was kind of unusual that the buyer claimed to be seeing a different color than what I'm seeing. And I even asked a few people, hey, can you look at this listing and tell me what color that blanket looks like to you? And everybody said pink. So I feel like it was something on her end with the color setting on her phone or computer, or maybe it was an older device and the color is wearing out and it's not displaying properly. I don't really know. If you have any ideas why somebody might be seeing a pink item as white, please put that in the comments because that was a new one for me. Okay, this is a Paula Young wig. This was with the original box. It was not new, it just was stored in the box. That's how some people store their wigs, is in the original box. So I paid $7 for this. It sold for $40 and profit was $28.54. This is a pair of Timberland leather boots. I paid $7 for these back in 2021. And I had them up for sale for a long time and they didn't sell, and they were my size, so I wore them a little bit, but they were really not comfortable. In fact, I took a road trip with a friend from Greenville to Charlotte to the IKEA store to pick up some Christmas gifts. And we walked that store for 2 hours, and it was a cold, rainy day last winter. And when I got back, I said, nope, I am not wearing these again. These are going on eBay because my feet were killing me. Obviously, these boots weren't made for walking, but they were the only boots I had at the time, and it was a rainy day. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to wear these. But nope, I'm going to have to move on to another pair. So I paid $7 for these a while back and they sold for $45. My profit was $30.80. So my expert tip to you is, if you have shoes in your closet that aren't super comfortable and you don't wear them because they hurt your feet, just put them on eBay. Somebody else will buy them and maybe it won't hurt that person's feet. Okay, here is a funky item. In fact, this was sitting in the boutique area of a thrift store, and I was like, what is that? A centerpiece? An Easter decoration? I don't know. I'm going to go check that out. So it's a fancy church hat. Could also be used as part of a costume for drama, theater, who knows. I paid $3 for this and it sold for $39.97, and the buyer was thrilled. She loved it. Profit was $32.22, and I am just loving selling hats. Okay, here is a pair of vintage panties. New with tag, new old stock. I paid $2.02 for these. They sold for $40. Profit was $33.36. However, they came back to me, returned to sender. I don't know what happened, but I did refund the buyer their money, so they're back in my store. But yeah, that was a good sale, but sometimes all good things must come to an end, right? Okay, here is an Eileen Fisher skirt, 100% linen. I paid $6.61 for this. It sold for $54.97. Profit was $42.43, and this item was previously purchased for $35. It did not fit. The buyer returned it, and it sold within a week to 10 days after listing. So, another example of not all returns are a bad thing because it sold for $20 more the second time around. And my biggest sale of the month was this Rolex hat. Brand new, still had the cardboard inside. I paid $1. It sold for full asking of $124.97. My profit was $107.85. And it was literally 22 hours from the time I found this in the thrift store, got home, listed it. I was very excited about it because I knew it would sell for a lot. And it sold for full asking price, no offer, no questions, nothing. And this hat is from the 2020 Daytona 500. So it was created just for that event. So it's limited in number, obviously. Some race car person or collector probably wanted it. I did not ask. But that's, part of eBay is when you find things that are truly limited in number, they can sell for crazy prices. So there you go.
Okay, now for the numbers. And as promised, I will explain what I did differently this month. And I changed this partly out of boredom, and the scientific part of me says, let's do an experiment. So, I preach going back to older listings and refreshing them. And that is a habit I have had since I think 2018, when eBay did away with good till canceled, and all of our listings are now only 30 days and then they start over. So I do spend a good amount of time refreshing old listings. I decided to look at how much time I'm spending doing that. And over the past 6 months, the average number of listings I end and restart every month is 160. That's a lot of listings. And I looked at items that sold that I recently ended and restarted. And it's really not that significant. So I know a lot of sellers, especially on my Facebook group, never do this. They never backtrack, and they sell a lot of items. So there's no way for us to know if that listing would have sold anyway without us touching it. So I'm going to play around with that. And what I looked at was, how much time am I spending doing this process? And does the time investment justify the results? So it takes me about 3 minutes to refresh a listing because I change the keywords in the title. I make sure there are no new item specifics that need to be checked off. Sometimes I change the picture. So it's an average of 3 minutes per listing. 160 listings a month. That's 8 hours of time just backtracking and refreshing these listings. And I got to thinking, what can I do with an additional 8 hours a month? Well, I can focus on finding and listing more items that have never been in my store before. So that's what I did. And I'm also going to keep track of how long it takes an item to sell, because at this point, everything in my store has been either listed or refreshed within the last 3 to 4 months. So what if I just leave it there and don't touch it? Is it going to sell anyway? That's what I want to find out. And this is an experiment. This is not proven. This is just something I'm testing out because I could use an extra 8 hours a month to list more items. So I won't be showing you that ugly chart anymore because I'm only going to be listing items that I find in the present. I'm not going to be messing with those old listings because I want to find out if it's worth my time or not. So in the months ahead, I will be including how long it took for an item to sell. That's what we all want to know. But what works for me might not work for you. So I encourage you to do experiments like this, to tweak things in your store and see what works for you, because eBay doesn't want us to know every single factor that's in the algorithm. They may not even know. There are so many different factors. It's just impossible to say with any confidence or accuracy if going back and ending listings and starting over even matters or helps. Would those items have sold anyway? Okay, so that's the big experiment. Stay tuned for updates on that as we go through sales update videos in the future. And I will show you my numbers now.
I sold 53 items in April compared to 37 in March. Now, I did sell more items in April, but would that have happened anyway? There's no way to prove that the change I made resulted in more sales. So we'll just have to watch and see how that trends up or down. I now have 633 items in my store. That's 633 listings compared to 555 in March. So I've been working hard to get more items listed because the more items you have listed, the more things can sell. Every item is an opportunity to bring a buyer into your store. I don't know that I have a certain goal for how many items I want to have. I'm just going to keep pushing forward and see where it goes. My inventory cost in April was $201.12. That's the money invested in the items that sold. Now, inventory cost was higher than the previous month, which was $125.26 in March, but a lot of items that sold were purchased at higher prices in Georgia before I moved. So I feel like my inventory cost is just going to continue to decrease over time. Okay, profit per item in April was $18 compared to $19 in March. Returns. I didn't have that many this month, so I was happy about that. These were the 2 items that were returned, and there's that Eileen Fisher skirt I talked about, which already sold again for $20 more. So try to reprogram your thinking when you get requests for returns, because I know for all of us, when you see that buyer has opened a return message, you're like, oh shoot, I hate when that happens. But they may not even return it. They may never ship it back. That happens a lot too. Or you can sell it again and you might sell it for more. So just try to think positive about that. Okay, I listed 120 items in April. All of them were items that were never listed in my store before, so none of this ending and restarting stuff. And I purchased $358.68 worth of more inventory to add to my store, and all of it is listed.
Okay, in the last part of this video, I'm going to show you some items that I found and listed. So if you want to go look at those listings, you can do that. Finding items, treasure hunting is great, but I don't think that information is helpful unless the item is actually listed. And you guys can go look at the listing and watch it and see the whole process. So here are some fun items I found that are listed.
This was a fun item. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse Bistro Apron. So it's just your square, or I guess rectangular apron you wear around the waist. This was $1. I have it priced at $29.97. I found a new in the box Christopher Radko ornament. This was $1.50. I have it priced at $34.97. Now, it's not one of the super high dollar vintage rare ones, but my heart skipped a beat when I saw that Radco name on this box because I don't think I've ever found one new in the box. So that was fun. This is a Dorfman Pacific straw hat with the American flag themed band around it. And I thought, oh, this is perfect timing for Memorial Day, 4th of July, all these holidays we have coming up that are patriotic or just for veterans. They wear patriotic stuff all the time, and there's all kinds of veteran organizations that meet and they dress patriotically. So this was $1, and I have it priced at $59.97. Now here's a new one, an UGG bathrobe. I did not know UGG made bathrobes. And I've been watching you guys on the Money Making Mondays, and bathrobes are a thing, these spa type robes. So this was $2.25, and I have it priced at $59.97. I found another wig in the box. This was $9. This was in the super special priced up Goodwill glass case. And I've sold enough wigs to know that, yeah, they're pretty profitable. So I have this one priced at $59.97. Okay, here's something I've never heard of or seen, and I didn't really know what it was. And I looked it up in the store to figure out what it was. So it's this shirt that was very thick material with this pouch in the front. And I'm like, what the heck do you put in this pouch? Well, you know what you put in there is your baby or somebody else's baby, but it's a baby wearing brand. Lalaboo is the name. And what I found is the dad shirt. So perfect timing for Father's Day, right? And here it is on the website. What a great idea. And it's got this funny tag on the inside showing you how to wear the baby in that pouch and how not to wear it. But they retail for like $80. And I asked my daughter if she'd ever heard of this. Like, have you ever heard of this Lalaboo brand? And it's for baby wearing. She's like, oh yeah, but people put their cat in there. So if you want to wear your cat or your puppy or your little dog, you could probably do that too. So I have this priced at $59.97. Okay, another clothing item. This is a rag and bone 100% cashmere sweater. And this is a higher end brand. I've known about it for a very long time, never found one. And ta-da, here it is. I paid $4.75 for this and have it priced at $89.97. And here is another holy grail item that I found. I think using this extra 8 hours a month is going to work out in my favor because I think this is the universe telling me you need to be out there getting more items, not glued to your computer, because I found all these great things. This is a St. John jacket. It has a couple of little imperfections. I'm going to leave it there as is for a while to see if it sells. And if it doesn't, I'm going to cut off the buttons and the label and sell those on their own without the jacket. But I think the jacket's in good enough condition to where somebody will buy it. So this was $4.75 and I have it priced at $99.97. And the final item is this beautiful coastal Santa Christmas decoration. I paid $12.50 for him. I had a coupon for half off. So okay, it was priced at 25, so my cost was $12.50. And there's a thrift store here in South Carolina where you have a loyalty card, so you get stamps on the card, and when it fills up, you can use that card for 50% off anything in the store. It can be furniture, it can be jewelry, it can be anything you want. So I kind of stockpile those and use them for more expensive items when they pop up. So I have this priced at $124.97. Okay, that is the recap for April. I would love your comments below about my experiment of abandoning the backtracking process. What do you think about that? Is that something you want to try? Do you do it? Do you believe in it? Let's just have a conversation about that, because I think sellers are kind of 50-50 on this. Some do it religiously, others never do it, and they sell plenty of items. So thank you again for watching, and I'll be back next week with the $100 supersize video. Make it a great day on eBay. Bye.